Hey guys, it's Nick, and well, yesterday marks the day of the core getting split up more, and we trade away alternate captain number 2, Duncan Keith, to the Edmonton Oilers. So, this is a thank you, Duncan, for what all you have accomplished in your 16 years with the Chicago Blackhawks by winning 2 Norris trophies, the Conn, and 3 Stanley Cups. I want to say thank you, Duncan, for all you have done with the Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to miss you in Chicago. We know that you wanted to be closer to your son up in Canada, and it's understandably so. So I want to say thank you, Duncan, for all you have accomplished in Chicago. And good luck to you in Edmonton. So, with that being said, the Hawks did trade Duncan Keith to the Edmonton Oilers. And it's just going to be so weird not seeing Duncan in the jersey that he's been known to wear for his entire Hall of Fame career. And going to see him in a different uniform. It's just weird. But it's understandably so. So I want to say thank you again to Keith and a big good luck to you in Edmonton. What the Hawks were able to do to get Duncan Keith, grant him his wish to move up to Canada to play for a Canadian team on the western side of Canada, was a good move on the fact that he wants to be with his kid, and well, frankly, it's understandably so. After playing through a pandemic, couldn't get to see him much at all this year. So, seeing Keith, though, not going to be with the Blackhawks anymore, not until they do a retirement number ceremony for him when he does decide to hang up the skates and want to just call it a career. Yeah, I'm saying it right now. Duncan Keith should and would have his number 2 hanging in the rafters of the United Center. And also a potential statue, maybe? I think is well deserved for Duncan Keith. He played he's played over 1,192 games with the Chicago Blackhawks altogether, and had a total of 105 goals on his career with the Hawks and a 520 assists, where he put up a total of 625 points for the team. He was a workhorse for the team by how he would put himself to the top measure of performance of playing most ice minutes out of anyone. And, well, he was great at it. He was a true workhorse and a machine. Duncan Keith, that is probably the one word you think of when you think of Duncan Keith. A machine. He worked hard and did not want to come off the ice. So, seeing Keith going to Edmonton, it's going to be weird, but it's understandably so. So, what did the Hawks get in return for Duncan? So, here's the trade. The Blackhawks acquire Caleb Jones from the Edmonton Oilers and a conditional 2022 third round pick. From what I've looked up, the conditions have not been stated yet. So, I don't know exactly there on the conditions. But the Edmonton Oilers gain a Hall of Famer in Duncan Keith and a prospect, Tim Soderlund. So the Hawks lose one prospect and lose a Hall of Famer. The Hawks gain, though, a 24-year-old defenseman in Caleb Jones without having to retain any of the $5 million contract that Duncan Keith's cap hit was at. And we also get a conditional third-round pick. So, this being said, the Hawks actually did pretty fair for themselves. They didn't have to retain money, but they are losing a key member of the Chicago Blackhawks in Duncan Keith, who actually has been useful the last couple of years by teaching the young guys how to play in the NHL. So, losing a player like Keith will suck, yes, but the Hawks are trying to get younger for this game, and Caleb Jones is a solid pickup for the Chicago Blackhawks. So that was the full trade. A conditional third-round pick in 2022, Caleb Jones for Duncan Keith and Tim Soderlund. So it's not a bad trade, but I know Edmonton fans are not happy because the Hawks didn't retain anything and they didn't gain much cap at all. So this is actually a good trade on the Hawks, in my opinion. Bad trade on the Oilers. Bad trade meaning that they couldn't lose a cap dump to gain Duncan Keith. So, what Duncan Keith did was basically help the Hawks for the future. And the Hawks benefited himself for getting himself to closer to his son playing in the season. So, it was a mutual benefit for each side of the trade. The Hawks get younger, and they get a conditional draft pick out of it, where the Oilers get a Hall of Famer in teaching them how to get through a playoff round after getting swept by the Winnipeg Jets this past postseason. But it's just going to be strange not going to see number 2 Duncan Keith on the blue line for your Chicago Blackhawks for the next couple of years. So, I want to say this again. Thank you, Duncan, for all you have accomplished. And yes, once a Blackhawk, always a Blackhawk, and you will never be viewed as an Edmonton Oiler, in my opinion. So, I want to say this. Thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, good luck in Edmonton, Duncan, and let's go Hawks.